It is 306 years since the death of the famous Blackbeard. What maneuvers did the British Navy use, and how did they manage to capture one of the most feared pirates? The summer of 1718 marked a turning point in the life of Edward Teach, known worldwide as Blackbeard, the most feared pirate of his time. After years of ravaging the Atlantic coasts and terrorizing the British colonies, he made a surprising decision to abandon piracy. In a strategic move, he accepted a royal pardon offered by the governor of North Carolina, who promised to acquit his crimes in exchange for his loyalty. For a brief period, this feared buccaneer tried to rebuild his life under the guise of legality. However, was this change a true surrender or a careful calculation? Blackbeard soon settled near Bath, a small town where he even married the daughter of a local landowner. His house, located a short distance from the residence of the governor who had pardoned him, seemed to symbolize a new stage. According to historian Colin Woodard, Blackbeard had not only won the governor's favor, but also the protection that allowed him to move around unrestricted. However, this facade concealed his true intentions, as his desire to accumulate wealth had not disappeared. Blackbeard's relationship with the governor of North Carolina. His connection to the governor of North Carolina revealed how political and personal interests could shape the fate of such controversial figures as this pirate. After accepting the royal pardon, he knew how to take advantage of the weaknesses of the colonial system by building a close relationship with Governor Charles Eden. As Woodard wrote in The Republic of the Pirates, Blackbeard had bought the loyalty of a colonial governor, which guaranteed him a certain impunity in his activities. The benefits of this relationship were not one-sided. Blackbeard, now a resident of Bath, secured income and favors for the governor in exchange for protection. This link offered the pirate the opportunity to maintain his influence without openly resorting to his illegal tactics, consolidating a local support network that included authorities and merchants willing to turn a blind eye to his true intentions. However, the arrangement also exposed tensions between the colonies, as Virginia's lieutenant governor, Alexander Spotswood, considered Blackbeard a constant threat. Blackbeard's return to piracy. Blackbeard's pardon in North Carolina proved to be only a strategic pause in his criminal career. Just a few months after accepting the governor's offer, the infamous pirate once again unfurled his fearsome black flag in the waters of the Atlantic. One of the most prominent episodes of this return occurred when, at the end of August 1718, he captured two unarmed French ships in clear violation of the terms of his royal pardon. These acts provoked the anger of Virginia's lieutenant governor, Alexander Spotswood, who had viewed Blackbeard's actions with suspicion. Spotswood interpreted these moves not only as a threat to maritime security, but also as a direct affront to the Crown's authority in the colonies. In November of that year, Spotswood issued an official proclamation offering a reward of £100 for Blackbeard's head, more than double that offered by any other pirate captain. Aware of the danger Blackbeard posed, Spotswood organized a secret operation to neutralize him definitively. This plan included sending Royal Navy officer Robert Maynard to lead a mission designed to hunt the pirate in the narrow and shallow inlets off the coast. The hunting operation against Blackbeard. Determined to end Blackbeard's threat, Virginia Lieutenant Governor Alexander Spotswood devised a meticulous strategy that was carried out with the utmost secrecy. Spotswood selected Royal Navy officer Robert Maynard to lead an expedition that would neutralize the pirate for good. Maynard was given command of two small vessels, the Ranger and the Jane, along with 60 men ready to take on the notorious buccaneer. Although the sloops lacked guns, their lightweight design and maneuverability were ideal for tracking Blackbeard in the shallow waters of North Carolina's barrier islands. The mission required moving quickly and quietly, avoiding alerting the pirate and his men. According to chronicler Captain Charles Johnson, the expedition set out from Virginia's James River on November 17, 1718, advancing north in hopes of surprising the enemy. The plan bore fruit when, on November 21, Maynard's ships sighted Blackbeard's ship near Ocracoke Island. The ensuing confrontation would not only end the pirate's career, but would mark one of the most iconic episodes in the history of anti-piracy. The final showdown between Blackbeard and the Royal Navy. The early morning of November 22, 1718 brought with it the decisive confrontation between Blackbeard and Robert Maynard's men. The two small Royal Navy vessels, the Ranger, and the Jane, crept up on the pirates' ship, which was anchored near Ocracoke Island. The initial surprise favored the sailors, as the crew was still asleep after a night of feasting and drunkenness. When the British fired the pirates awake, an unequal battle began. Blackbeard's superior ship unleashed a devastating salvo of shrapnel that killed 20 of Jane's men and wreaked havoc on Maynard's crew. Believing victory was assured, Blackbeard ordered the British sloop to board to claim it. However, Maynard had prepared a bold maneuver. He hid his surviving men in the hold, who, at the moment of boarding, emerged to face the pirates hand-to-hand. The combat that followed was fierce. In a fight of swords, daggers, and pistols, Maynard and his men, though wounded, managed to outmaneuver the pirates. Blackbeard resisted fiercely, receiving 5 shots and 20 stab wounds before falling. Eventually, Maynard beheaded the legendary pirate and hung his head on the ship's bowsprit as a trophy, as they returned to Virginia with 14 captured prisoners. This dramatic confrontation ended the career of one of the most feared pirates in history and marked a turning point in the fight against piracy in the Atlantic. Blackbeard's death and legacy. Blackbeard's death on November 22, 1718, symbolized the decline of an era marked by rampant piracy in the Atlantic. Robert Maynard's decision to behead the infamous pirate and hang his head on the ship's bowsprit sent a clear message to the British colonies and the rest of the world: the Royal Navy was ready to eradicate piracy at all costs. This image, as powerful as it was macabre, cemented the end of Blackbeard's dominance of the seas and served as a warning to other pirates. However, Blackbeard's impact did not fade with his death. Over the centuries, his figure has transcended myth and history, becoming the archetype of the fearsome pirate. His bold tactics, such as the blockade of Charleston, and his imposing personality, with a beard adorned with flaming streaks during fighting, made him a symbol of defiance of authority. According to chronicler Captain Charles Johnson, Blackbeard sowed terror throughout the province of Carolina, a reputation that continues to be evoked in popular culture. Blackbeard's execution marked a turning point in colonial strategies to combat piracy. His death highlighted political tensions between the colonies, such as the rivalry between North Carolina and Virginia, and highlighted the need for cooperation to ensure maritime security. Although piracy did not disappear entirely, the fall of figures such as Blackbeard significantly weakened their influence in transatlantic trade.